So this was December of 2022. I was on TikTok post-pandemic like everyone else, but I never posted really. And just in that I had tried on and off dating apps for the last 10 years, and my usual MO was to download an app, be overwhelmed in the first week or two, or creeped out, delete it, try again in another calendar year. That was usually how I rolled. So this time I was like, okay, we're gonna try it, a season of bravery, a finite period of time. I decided to give myself 2 months. And
Okay.
my goal was to go on actually no, I gave myself a little more time than that. It was this January, and I said I wanted to go on 8 dates by Easter. So crazy Allora was gonna be brave for 4 whole months. And I decided to make a TikTok. And I chose TikTok specifically because none of my family and friends were on there. I had like 50 followers. Nobody was on there. Okay.
Okay.
But I just wanted to be less embarrassed about being a late bloomer. So my goal was I was just going to make TikToks documenting this experience, expecting no one to see them, Lucy. Nobody was following me. I wanted it to get used to saying it. I wanted it to be no longer this big, deep, dark secret, like my scarlet letter. Like I wanted it to just be something it was just a part of me. So I started making the TikToks, expecting no one to see them and jokes on me because like the first two went viral.
Oh my God.
Um, and then it just snowballed from there. So like it was totally accidental.
So what did you say on the TikToks?
I said I wanted to be a more honest version of myself. And I also wanted to be braver. So my big secret that I've been keeping for my whole life, I'd never really voiced it out loud,
Yeah.
was that I had no dating experience. I had never been asked out, hit on, been on a date, never been kissed. So I came all out with it all in one.
But it's quite
And
freeing, right?
it's like anything you're afraid of, anything you feel like it's holding you back. Once you just kind of like release it and
Yeah.
like every time I say it, now it doesn't, I mean, I don't care anymore at all. My filter is gone. But like,
I totally relate.
um, I mean, mission accomplished, but when you like free yourself from that thing that is, I wouldn't say it was holding me back in life, but it was a big area of my life. I knew I had built a big, beautiful life. I was so thrilled with my life, but like that Christmas, I realized if I woke up in 30 years from now, my life would look exactly the same. And for the first time, I wasn't okay with that. And that's kind of where this whole all came from. Like I have a beautiful life. I would like to share it with someone. Like that was that moment. So yeah, so from there I just started documenting um my interactions on dating apps, my first dates. I would post date recaps. I would just have discussions. And TikTok was so welcoming. It was so surprising. I expected to be ridiculed. No,
Yeah.
no. The internet had my back. It was incredible.
Wow.
I just don't know if the mean people didn't find me yet. Everyone was so encouraging. Like it made
Oh,
me braver, and people in turn were like, "You're making me braver." I had no idea I was the only one. I thought I was also alone, like so many people, because this isn't a thing that people talk about regularly outside of like making like virgin jokes in movies. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing you ever hear
yeah.
really. And I feel like that there's been this trend now in the last few years. I'm not going to say I'm the originator of it, but I have noticed in the last few years so many celebrities, athletes, like it's hit the mainstream, this discussion of being a virgin or not dating and well into your adulthood and it just not happening for you, or you choosing to take your time. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but um it's just I love the conversation it sparked because I feel like this is like an example of goodness in the world. We're all making each other braver when those stories circulate.
Yeah. But that's so lovely, isn't it? And it's so validating. It must have been so validating for you, having
Absolutely.
done
Absolutely.
this, incredibly courageous thing to sort of put yourself out there and speak your truth, and then to
Hmm.
have all of that support. It's fantastic. And so you've had, am I right in saying you've had 7 million views on your TikToks?
It actually might be more now.
God,
It
that's
was
crazy.
it was 7 million. I think it's actually, Lucy, it might be over 14 million now.
Oh my
The
God.
last I checked.
Where did I
Yeah.
get my information from?
No, because that's probably what I put like on like my
It might
website,
be on
my
your
bio.
website.
The illustrious Drew Barrymore herself, when I met her, said that was when I met her
Did you
by
know Drew
accident.
Barrymore?
I did by accident
When?
too. Last year, what because it was like the anniversary of her movie Never Been Kissed, and
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh my gosh, your story is just like Never Been Kissed," and it's not just like that, but I had never been kissed, so last year she invited me on her show.
Oh my God, I had
Um,
no idea. I clearly have
Surprise!
not
She's
done my
lovely,
research. Oh my
but
God, you
yeah,
went on
and
Drew
when
Barrymore's show?
I did, it was really fun. I mean, it was terrifying, but it was so fun. Like
Holy shit. Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't know that. Oh my God, how incredible. I love her so much.
she's
What
just such a force,
so
such a
you
force.
you sat on the sofa with Drew Barrymore and talked about all of
She
this.
is. So technically, yes. Technically, she was doing this segment called Drew's News. So we were behind a desk sitting next to each other.
What?
Like I was between her and her co-host Ross. And um yeah, so they played like my TikTok that went viral and they asked me about that whole experience. My then partner was on it with me.
My God.
Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, so that a long way of
Holy,
saying more views since then. It's definitely
holy
resonated
shit.
with people.
I literally, I mean, well, I clearly have not done my research properly. I mean, I am
I mean,
embarrassed. I didn't
to be
even know
fair,
you
I
did
don't
a
really
Drew
talk about
Barrymore.
it. Like, it feels like such like a snotty thing to say. So
No,
like, I don't
not
ever
at all.
like, oh,
No,
I've been on TV, but
no,
like,
no, no, not at all. God, I would be shouting about it. Jesus, that is absolutely wild. And I can imagine that she was super lovely.
she was so nice. And like when we talked about like the experience of my first kiss on that show, and they cut this part out of the interview, but I wish they hadn't. And there was at one point where she like teared up and was like, it makes me so happy to know that people can be so kind and gentle with each other. And I was
Oh,
like, Drew, thank you. Like,
oh
I
my,
mean, it was just so sweet. Like she's just such a sweet, genuine person, which I feel like the world knows, but I'm gonna echo it. Literally
yeah.
every single person on her staff was so kind.
Oh my
I
gosh,
was
how
it was
how
wild.
incredible that the fact that you had gone through this 32 years of your life feeling like there was something wrong with you, feeling like and the crazy irony is that it kind of catapulted you onto freaking Drew Barrymore. That is just absolutely insane.
It was. Last year was a lot.
Wow. Oh my God, how awesome. Well, congratulations. I mean, I'm gonna have to try and watch that somehow on YouTube or something. I'm sure I can find a clip of it
It
somewhere.
is, it's there. Like I said, it's a me problem. I don't really talk about it.
Oh
Like,
my
like I
God.
don't, I feel, it feels like I'm bragging,
No,
but it
no,
was
no.
just like it
Well,
was a
it's
really
that,
cool experience. Like,
and it's an integral part of the story because
yeah,
you but getting brave, and it just goes to show what can happen when you make bold moves and you get out of your comfort zone and you do crazy shit that is really scary. And actually,
absolutely.
this is what happens. The magic is on
Yep.
the other side of our comfort zone. Or on the other side of fear.